extremely quickly, especially when we're getting up to those levels of 13 and even higher. So we're going to be heading into a game number 3 between Nouns, Esports, and PaperX. We're going to be starting things off with some very interesting new choices as Suicune gets added to the ban roster. PaperX going to be banning 2 fire-flying type Pokemon in the Charizard of the Ho-Oh.
Well, we also have a switch of sides as well. Nouns Esports in that first pick position, PaperX in that second pick. But I guess with Suicune and Umbreon banned and the 2 fire Pokemon, this is going to let Latias out on the field. I'm interested to see how it goes because, as you mentioned earlier, it's a bit hit or miss.
Right.
And I feel like locking in that first pick position, it can get countered here by PaperX.
Right. Is it a hammer? Is it an anvil? I know there's a lot of debate in this one. Also, we did have a bit of an update. I know we teased you all with a matchup between Santos Laguna and QT Dig. QT Dig did end up winning that matchup. So they were playing for the back foot, but they did win that one. So doing very, very, very well in their group. Currently, I believe QT Dig is playing against SAUL on the B stage. It's also a very close matchup. So some exciting stuff going on in the World Championships to the surprise of absolutely no one. But here we go.
Biggest tournament of the year.
Of course, exactly.
Yeah.
This is what you got to predict and expect. PaperX going again with a very tanky defender-focused position. Yemu has not left this Blastoise position, but the Snorlax is going to be taken away from Bruv. Could be shifting over towards this Lapras potentially, or an entirely new option.
Well, we'll have to wait and see, but Blaziken being selected here, I think, is a great call. And yeah, you called it there. Mamoswine, but we're getting a different speedster out on the field here. Gatler, I mean, running the triple-headed bird, now opting for a single-headed bird, the Talonflame. It's only got a 2% pick rate so far in this tournament.
Wow, okay, interesting. So, also, fun fact, all 3 fire-flying Pokemon we have in the game getting shown on screen right now. So, yeah, and Blaziken, of course, being denied the flying type, just crazy. But
Chickens do fly. Chickens, they
I-
have wings.
I
They sort of
believe-
fly.
I
don't know.
believe- I
Chicken-
believe they
Blaziken has arms.
I know they can run. I saw that one.
Okay.
So HD is going to be locking in that Blaziken. Going to be a very powerful Pokemon. We've talked about its secure potential. Its amazing team fight that it has to work with. And it's going to be partnered with that Hoopa. But Nouns Esports also walking away with a few Pokemon in this draft I think they're going to be very excited about. That Blissey has been banned against them 2 games in a row by PaperX. And finally, it's going to slide through the cracks. So Ender will be getting this pick that has been, well, very heavily favored against them. So I am interested to see how well Ender does with that Blissey, which also, I don't know if y'all caught it, but in the very cool animated intro we had for this World Championship, we did see Blissey doing their best against the Rayquaza at that fountain. There was a whole lot of team fighting going around, and Blissey was just chucking eggs at Rayquaza, which
That's what supporters do.
We saw Blissey secure a Ray already on today's broadcast, so shout out to the animators. They know what they're doing.
Exactly. You throw the eggs and hope for the best that it ends up landing at the right time.
Exactly.
But look at this, folks. We are heading on into our final game of this set. It is 1 apiece between Nouns Esports and PaperX, as we do have, well, both of those fire-type birds taking that central area for either side.
Is interesting tune on this Latios. Will be going into lane to start the matchup, not going into the central area. Latios does have very solid secure though in that Swift, so it could be a decent matchup. However, Solo with 9 points of Eos energy was feeling great until a moment ago. So we do have Gatlu's Talonflame getting the chase and the KO. Or sorry, maybe a Desu. I actually forgot who locked in that one specifically.
Gotta say, that is great. Either intuition or communication with Nouns Esports to go and signal Gatlu to go and finalize that KO and leave that red buff for the time being. But they're going to
really
pivot
smart
towards that top side, as we do have PaperX, as you can see on that mini-map, having 3 down in that bottom side.
Yeah, great call out, Kello. I love when teams got that coordination, or maybe even, like you said, intuition. It's probably a combo of the both. This team has been playing together for a long time. Adesu on this station, so got confirmation on that does take a very aggressive stance, but it's a little bit more bark than it is bite, as they just go for that wild Pokemon experience. Yemu, Yang, retreating back towards that goal zone for the time being.
No bark, no bite, only pats, okay?
Okay, yeah. If you want to go pat the dog with a sword in its mouth, you be my guest. Yemu does make it back. Adesu, very, very scary on this Pokemon, but not quite at the point where they can 100-0 a Wartortle.
Well, speaking of 0, it is currently 2-0. Obviously, still very early days, but I feel like both of these teams, in comparison to the last 2 games we've seen, are playing a little bit more passively this time around. But, you know, as I say this, I see on the minimap, Blissey.
Yeah.
Hello? What are you doing over there?
I'd say a lot of it more passive, except for Ender on the Blissey, who is...
exception to the rule, okay?
Well, up to no good, I would say. Shenanigans for this Blissey, as Ender is trying to buy as much time as they can. Of course, having a similar effect to what Ho-Oh can accomplish. We've seen a few times the Ho-Oh having a really solid invade due to the fact that it can restore its own HP. Well, Blissey's got that in spades, or I should say in eggs as well. Ender always on the hunt to try to steal one of those buffs, but for the time being, just getting a lot of information.
Yes, information is key when it does come down to making the right call of where to push these paths. But 13 to 15 points as it is a 2v2 up in this top path. Adesu just trying to ward off this Wartortle, but Yemu able to grab something and evolve into that fully fledged Blastoise.
Yeah, that's huge. Of course, Blastoise evolving at level 7 gets a really clean secure, but I think it will be Adesu getting the majority of that experience. We just saw a moment there, Ender's Egg a little bit late to stop that portal, but that is an interaction everyone should be looking out for. Blissey, one of those really fantastic counters if you can land the timing at stopping Hoopa portals. That vertical knockup of Egg Bomb does make it difficult for Yang to play around when they're trying to support their team with these hyperspace holes.
Oh, but here comes the Fly, ready to land down 2 members. The Flame Sweep to also just go push them off the map, but they end up getting punished. Gatlu has been sent back to the Pokemon Center, allowing Paper Rex to take control of this Regieleki. Meanwhile, we saw that Registeel was secured by Nouns Esports, but looks like Adesu and Inter, they're actually going to let this tier 1 pad up.
Yeah, this formidable defense we've seen from Nouns Esports so far. The matchup, well, it is backed up by their incredible play style, I think was enforced by the compositions they were running previously. At this point, they need Toon Slim to be stacking up this Latios in whatever fashion they can. So they're going to be playing a lot of offlane. They'll have the bodyguard above, but all these big team fight coordinated defenses, I think are going to be a little bit lacking until Toon Slim kind of gets up to snuff, if you will.
Yes, I guess that's a downside. Doesn't have a great early game, but we can see Paper Rex have decided to push down this tier 1 pad, but they are going to get punished with 2 members getting taken down. Adesu does ends up getting taken down amongst the mix as Hoopa is going to successfully retreat. And Paper Rex, well, they've done what they've done to ruffle some feathers and going back to their side of the map for all of this wild Pokemon that has just spawned in.
Yeah, I mean, this is defensive Pokemon Unite. We saw a absolute ludicrous team fight a moment ago, and we're 40 points difference between these 2 teams. Like, it is going to be a very slow burn between these 2 teams, but like I said before, any small mistake can change the momentum of this game. Gatlu has been trying to focus a lot on getting small scores on that top side to stack their attack weight and to set themselves up for a bigger moments throughout this match as we have hit the halfway point.
I think that's a tricky thing when you are playing on the world stage at the World Championships. After all, you can't really afford to make any mistakes. So really got to make those calculated plays and just observe whether it is the right time to dive on in or not. But Paper Rex on ball, taking all of these birds from Nouns Esports because they're nowhere in sight.
It feels like Paper Rex kind of learned, I think one of the reasons they fell in that first game was due to Nouns' position and taking all of that wild Pokemon experience. It feels like Paper Rex have kind of soft countered that. They're getting a lot of their own central, and they're even trying to get the response knockouts towards Nouns Esports. This will be a fast rotation to the bottom side as Hoopa Portal has brought the whole crew down. Gatlu going to ignore Regieleki in favor of scoring, and now Nouns Esports lose the Tier 1.
No, I mean, they don't have a Hooper on their side to make that instant teleportation. This Bliss Assistance is going to go and support Adesu, who's trying to close the gap between this Blastoise, but they successfully escape through that hyperspace hole. A great blaze kick coming from HT, but Mewtwo has also been taken down there. HT and Yamu amongst the mix, leaving Yang all alone. Can they escape? No, they cannot. Adesu on a roll with 3 KOs.
And gigantic, level 13 and a half at 340. I mean, Adesu will very easily be level 14 by the time Rayquaza spawns, and could even go for the very, very scary Fable to level 15. That might be a bit of a stretch, but Paper Rex do lose quite a few members. Adesu gets bigger, of course. However, I do think Paper Rex target prioritizing and knocking out the Latios first is the most important threat. That Pokemon, with its infinite scaling danger, is obviously try to slow it down as much as you can. He did a good job with HT on that Blaziken, prioritizing knocking out the Latios.
Yeah, it's going to really depend on how much Eon energy Latios has been able to stack up throughout this match. Either stacking it through securing wild Pokemon or even getting those hits on those opponents. That's really going to be demonstrated, the impact of that in that final point. But, ooh, Inda caught amongst the mix does end up getting sent back to the Pokemon Center by making those risky plays, trying to dunk in that Tier 2.
Yeah, I think they were looking if they could get 37 great, but also remember, Blissey has no yellow dot above its head, really needs that Unite move. I don't think they are too upset about getting KO'd at that position at that time. Still 30 seconds until Rayquaza, and potential to get this basement Reggie, something that Nouns Esports I think was very much lacking in that last game. So if they could go into this final fight with a Regice buff, maybe they can make something better happen.
Well, we'll have to see as it's 10 seconds left to go until this final stretch. Paper Rex are just going to retreat for the time being, looking for this positioning. Nouns is also going to follow suit as well, hoping to take position in this tall grass. And, well, 140 to 205, they're the ones that are on the back foot.
Yeah.
Once again, do they have the patience this time? Though, that is the question.
Yeah, we see even more scoring. So we'll be 21. Would have been an even score if we weren't at 2 minutes. We'll double up to 42. Decent over and up, but Nouns Esports still does not have the lead. Big engage. We have no cooldowns on the Talonflame. We got a Unite move to use. A check button repositions Gatlu to get a bit of an extension. They do push Paper Rex out, but they're still hunting for a KO they haven't found yet.
Yeah, but because of that retreat, we end up having 4 members go and get full HP as Mammoth Mash is going to be popped on out, but the hyperspace hole once again saving Paper Rex. Bliss Assistance onto Toon, trying to help them sustain this fight. We've got to take down this Latios, but now it's 3 members now down on the side of Nouns Esports.
All right, this is Adesu's moment. They are so huge. They're almost level 15. They need to find this KO, but right now all they are trying to do is escape. 1 minute has hit the board. A reminder, Nouns Esports still trailing, and now they're only trailing by 3 points. Gatlu with a big score.
3 points. I mean, they might not be a Dodrio, but they are definitely playing some sneaky birds shenanigans here to go and bridge that gap even closer. Yamu going in for another reset. 40 seconds left to go. 3 points. It's a close game, but do these teams even know it?
Yeah, Toon using that Unite move pretty early. Definitely not the hallmark of this Pokemon. Big push does put the Snorlax in danger, and that's the main defender gone. Yamu, the backup defender, if you will, getting on that jump pad, but they are very low on HP, but there's just simply no time. 2 defenders down. Bro, taking them all out. This is going to be a secure for the Ray. We're under 6,000 HP on it. We're looking for the hunt, and it will be Adesu.
Adesu gets the secure with 4 members of Paper Rex now down. All they have to do is go up, 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 and they are golden, and they are going to take this set 2-1 against Paper Rex. As you said, patience is a virtue, and I was biting my fingernails there, unsure what was going to happen, but, well, happened in 2022, able to defeat Yangs and Rebongs, and, well, that core of Nouns Esports has once done it again.
Oh, looks like some of these members of Paper Rex starting to discover their bracket demons in this Nouns Esports team. I mean, huge shout out to Bro for multiple reasons in that matchup. We mentioned their birthday during game 2, but that Mamoswine in game number 3, I mean, ice in their fangs, ice in their veins, I think, in those clutch moments. Both defenders getting knocked out by the Mamoswine. Very, very clean play. I think Toon Slim playing patient on the outside, and then what a clutch from Adesu. I mean, on this, station. Such a cool pocket pick from this player. I know they really enjoy playing that Pokemon, and well, here's a showcase of winning with your favorites with a Desu taking it down.
Yeah, definitely a showcase match indeed. Really close across all of those sets, but the thing is, there's only one team that can come out on top of groups.
Exactly.
And last year, with the Team MIS and Nouns, they were both top of groups, but Nouns defeating Paper Rex here, that's really going to secure them that spot.
Yeah, so now that is going to lock up our group for this one. Nouns Esports going to be leading the pack, like you just mentioned, going to be our first seed out of this group, headed into day number 2. Paper Rex will still qualify as they defeated version 1 earlier on in the day, but they will be that second seed. So likely matching up against a first seed of another group to start our single elimination bracket in the second day of competition. Obviously, Paper Rex a little nervous. They take that loss to Nouns Esports, a very strong team. I think a lot of people have Nouns Esports rated very highly and potentially even more after that matchup. And also, I think one of my favorite things, we got to see just 2 totally different styles of gameplay that we almost never see succeed in Pokemon Unite. This defensive, patient